Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back today for another video. So the top 5 class ranking series continues today with the skill class up next. So I'm really excited to actually talk about the skill class because it has been on the rise as of late. About a year ago, I said I think the skill class, the worst class in the game, especially for 7 stars. Now that is not the case. They are certainly not the worst class anymore. So it's been really nice to see the skill class just get better. So a couple disclaimers before we get into the list. And this series this year, we're primarily going to be ranking the 7-star champions. We're going to be doing a top 5 of just the 7-star pool. And then at the end, once we're through that, I will go to the 6-star specific pool and shout out like at least 3 champions there. Talk about that a little bit. And every other disclaimer is just that this is all completely my opinion. The way that I see the game after playing it for almost a decade and making videos on it pretty much every single day. This is my job, so I definitely have a good idea what I'm talking about. That doesn't mean I'm always right, and it's totally cool to disagree. This is my opinion, the way I see the game. It's totally cool for you to see the game differently. We all have pulled different champions, we've all played at different times, and we all have different experiences in the contest, in the battle realm. So that's totally normal for us to not look at things exactly the same and not agree to everything. But I'm just going to be giving you my list and how I see things. So let's go ahead and jump into the top 5 best skill champions in the game, and the list is starting with a 2-way tie between two 2025 champions, and the first one is Lumatrix. So Lumatrix, man, I'm really debating taking this guy up. I have him at rank 2 currently. Just did that. I do have multiple skill awakening gems that I can give him. I don't think the awakening ability is like that important, but when non-damage debuff on Lumatrix expires, naturally passive reduce incoming damage by 30% at Sig 1, and then the opponent's instant damaging effects have their ability actually reduced by 20 to 45%, doubled when fighting science champions. So, seems alright. Lumatrix, man, he's really cool. You know, he is the second ever idol that we've gotten in game, and the first one, Isofiend, in my opinion, was a massive flop, a big disappointment of a champion. Honestly, really pathetic for a champion that's supposed to be wielding the power of the Isosphere. Oh, God. ISO mid. Really, really, really disappointed with that champion. But Lumatrix, man, was such a cooler idol. First of all, he looks way cooler. He's a skill champ. He's got miss and evade mechanics, which just makes total sense. He's supposed to be like a trickster. Like, they just nailed it. Like, this is a brand new concept and champion for them, and I think they did a really great job on him. So, Lumatrix, I've been trying to learn how to play him, and he's very weird, but, very cool and fun. And once you, ramp him, he just guaranteed crits. He hits ridiculously hard. It's awesome. He applies tracking, which counters miss, which is really nice. I just wish he also had a way to counter evade. If he had a way to counter evade as well as miss, I would absolutely already have ranked him and awakened him. It's the only thing I don't like about him. But on top of everything else, he's also a pretty annoying defender. I fought this guy one time last war season, and I should have died. I did die, technically, but I had Heimdall with me. So Heimdall saved my life, and then I managed to clutch out the fight. But it was so sketchy, man. Lumatrix is so scary and punishing, especially if you don't have a counter. Like, if you don't have anyone to counter his evade or his miss, it's going to be tricky to fight him. It's not going to be a fun time. There's definitely some good counters, but yeah, if you don't have one, dude, it's going to be sketchy. So yeah, I think Lumatrix is just a great dual threat, great attacker, great defender, just a great addition to the skill class, and a really interesting and unique idol. So that's him coming in at the number 5 spot, but he's tied with another 2025 champion, and that is Yelena Belova. So Yelena just barely makes the top 5 list, and she's literally here because of how good of a defender she is. That's it. Plain and simple. She is that good of a defender that she makes the top 5 best skill champions. Yeah, pretty cut and dry. I think Yelena is a healthy defender for the game. Compared to Serpent, compared to Dark Phoenix, I think those are very unhealthy defenders for the game. But Yelena, I really like her. I was excited to get her, and once I started learning, it all started, I was watching MSD's video, and I was like, that doesn't look that bad. And once I practiced fighting her, and learned to dex a special one, I was like, you know what? I like this. I like this champion. I like her design. I think they did a great job with designing very scary defender, but is also fair and balanced. I really don't think Yelena is that crazy, man. I recently worked on a video showing how to fight her. I don't know if that's going to upload before or after this video, but had a lot of fun making that. She definitely has her counters with, Mr. Sinister, Jean Grey, Onslaught, Deadpool X-Force, sort of gentle. And if you use those counters, you should have a pretty good time. If you don't have one of those counters, it's definitely going to be rough. But, like, I don't know. I like her. I really do like her. And you can use other champs outside of the class wheel. You don't just need to bring in a mutant. There are other ways to counter. They're just not going to be the best counters, but it can still totally work. The whole thing with her is trying to kill her before she enters that elimination mode, especially like in a battlegrounds setting, and it's totally feasible to do. The special one has like a lot of his. It reminds me a little bit of Onslaught's special one, just for how long it is, but it's very easy to learn the decks if you just stick with it for like literally 10 minutes. I bet after 10 minutes of just practicing it, you'll probably get close to getting it down. Maybe 20 minutes to really get it down. And then the special 2 is also dexable, a little sketchy, but it is doable. So yeah, and that again, she's mainly here as a defender, but I think a healthy and good defender for the game going forward. That's not to say she can't do anything on attack. Basically the way you play her on attack is you want to just knock them down a bunch, and that's going to apply these bleed vulnerabilities, but also when you knock down the opponent, it's going to give you more combo, because you want to race to get into this elimination mode when you're using her on attack, because then once you're in that elimination mode, you have all guaranteed crits. So she kind of becomes like a Bullseye a little bit. She's a little comparable to Bullseye as an attacker. You just got to build to it though. And once you build to it, it's some decent damage. It's nothing crazy, nothing that special. Again, she's mainly here because she's a very good defender, but again, I think a good, healthy defender for the game. So that is Yelena coming in at the number 5 spot, tied with Lumatrix. Alright, moving on to the number 4 spot, we have Bullseye. So, speaking of a little bit of an unhealthy defender now, and that is Bullseye. Dude, Bullseye, he's just so punishing if you don't bring in a counter. It is crazy. So much so to the fact that I still took him up to rank 4, man. Even though he's a little bit older now and there are a lot more counters to him. Even though there are counters, some of the counters can take some time. And yeah, man, he's just so punishing. And if they don't get one of those counters, like, you just win. Like, if your opponent doesn't get a counter to Bullseye in Battlegrounds, you win the round, essentially. Like, he's so punishing, man. It is insane. The evade that shrugs parry stun debuffs, like, that is a lot. His evade is so powerful, and then with his Sig too, he can just be purifying debuffs. Also with the Sig, he's one of the very few champs that can completely counter Power Sting, essentially. If you are at Sig 200, at Sig 100 you can see it is over 50%. But, yeah, man, Bullseye just always has guaranteed critical hits. There is no building to a mode to get it, like with Yelena. No, you just always have guaranteed crits. And then, you can get a Fury buff if you evade and then throw a special to increase your damage, which is nice. And, just some really nice utility that Bullseye always has is he can never miss. He can never miss. So anytime where there is some type of falter node or something and you want to bring Bullseye, go for it. You'll never miss. You never, ever have to worry about missing with Bullseye, ever. That alone is a very nice piece of utility to have. Always having guaranteed crits is also pretty nice on just a champ that is already so ridiculously powerful on defense. Bullseye is primarily here as a defender, but that's not to say he's bad on attack. He's actually pretty underrated on attack and can do some pretty solid stuff, which is all the more reason why I wanted to take him up to that rank 4. So yeah, that's Bullseye. He's pretty simple explanation. He's coming at the number 4 spot. You guys all know why. That's Bullseye. All right, number 3. This might surprise some people. Crossbones. So, dude, I personally dislike Crossbones. I don't like playing him. I really don't. But man, he looks really cool. I just realized he has like magazines strapped on his arm. And shotgun shells too. I don't know if I ever noticed that before. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. The Call of Duty player in me is getting distracted. But yeah, I really don't like Crossbones, to be totally honest. I don't like him. I don't like playing him. I find him annoying. But I still have him in my deck. I still draft him. And I still use him because he's just so powerful. He's just so strong. Man, it is ridiculous how powerful and strong Crossbones is and how much stuff he can counter, dude. I just find him to be such a pain in the ass to play and to maintain those furies. Like, it's just I really just hate playing him, dude. Seriously. But he's so powerful, man. He's so freaking good. If you can just get to 10 plus Furies and maintain them and keep them paused, keep them refreshed. Like, you hit so hard, you're just turning off abilities, you're shrugging debuffs, you're bypassing every node. Like, it's crazy. It's really crazy. Crossbones, I think, was the first ever champ in game that could not crit. But he used to suck. That's not true. He used to be pretty bad, but he still had some uses. But then he got buffed. And his buff brought him to where he is today. And man, he's so good. Like, it was really Andy. Andy made a couple videos on Crossbones a while ago. And I'd already known like how good he was in Battlegrounds. Because like, I'd fight Andy and I'd ban his Crossbones because I see what he can do with him. But then when I saw what he could also do in like Necropolis, like 40 plus Furies, and you're just hitting like 80k mediums and heavies, like it's disgusting. Chad Bones 100% deserves to be up here. He could honestly go even a little bit higher, but again, I don't like him. I don't even want him to be on the list, but I cannot deny just how powerful this dude is. So that is Chad Bones at the number 3 spot. All right, coming in at the number 2 spot, we have the champion that I wasted like 4 Titan Nexus crystals trying to get and completely failed. God, that Okoye. One of the very first champions released in the year 2025. And again, notice how I said at the start of this video, 1 year ago, I said the skill class, the worst 7-star class in game. Now that's not the case. And why? Well, 3 champions that have come out this year are already on the list. So I think that speaks volumes as to why the skill class has gotten so much better lately. And Okoye was one of the biggest contributors to that. Okoye, man, just came out, and the best analogy I can really make is she's basically a skill version of Archangel with bleed and shock instead of bleed and poison. Like, that's the best way I can put it. Like, dude, Archangel, so nuts. If the opponent is not immune to his debuffs, like, he just shreds. Koye, same thing, man. If they're not immune to bleed and shock, you can apply both those. Like, she just shreds. She does so much damage. And she has a buttload of utility as well with Ensnare. Ensnare is such a powerful thing. We're seeing more and more of it this year with Okoye, with Spider-Woman. So what Ensnare does is it reduces ability accuracy, and it also prevents all evasion. So no evasion can happen if the opponent is ensnared. And again, it's also lowering ability accuracy. So that can just turn off abilities, and that can be really annoying. And it's 30%. So like, that's pretty low, but it's also high enough to be just a big unknown variable. So yeah, I don't have a Koye. I actually personally never even played her. But the stuff that I've seen, man, is just absolutely disgusting. She's able to counter so many champions. I've actually seen her able to counter Yelena, able to counter Bullseye, able to counter Photon. I'm sure she's a phenomenal counter for Spider-Woman, which is one of the big reasons why I tried so hard to get her. Spider-Woman is pretty crazy on defense, who also has Ensnare. We'll talk more about her when we do the science rankings. Spoiler alert, she'll be top 5. In the top 5. But back to Okoye, man. Yeah, she's just very, very, very powerful. Very powerful. Phenomenal addition to the skill class, coming in at that number 2 spot. The second most powerful skill champion as 7 stars. She's also been a bit of a problem child for Kabam, though, man. Like, there was bugs with this whole ranks in the dexterity, and she was doing more damage than she was supposed to, and all these bug fixes. Yeah. But, she has some cool interactions with the masteries. I really want her, man. Tried so hard to get her. Still gonna have, like, 1 or 2 more Titans before week 3 to 4 of the new Battlegrounds meta drops, so maybe I can, still a slight chance I'll pull her, but man, I don't think I'm going to get her, which really sucks. And this Awaken ability, let's read this for a second. Top tier armaments grants 3 ranks of the Deep Wounds Mastery, which is enhanced to include shock debuff. Like, that's so powerful. And that's Sig 1, you're good. So what's this other part? While Koya's health points are below, or are lower than her opponent's, all endurance and precision buffs on her expire for the... That doesn't seem that important. Yeah, like, she literally just needs to be awakened. Sig 1, she's good. And I have 2 skill gems. Like, I just need to pull her one time. But that is a Koye at the number 2 spot. Okay, so before we get to the number 1 spots, we have a couple of honorable mentions here. So those honorable mentions are Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, man, like, on paper, should be a top 5 skill champion. Absolutely. But in the last year, in the contest, he's barely been used. I really rarely see this guy, even in metas and places where he should be thriving. He don't really see people use him. I see him occasionally in decks, but people don't actually draft him. People don't actually use him. He's great, man. He's such a great champion. Like, I love playing Shang-Chi way more than Crossbones. I would rather play Shang-Chi than Crossbones any day, all day, bro. He's great. But he just doesn't seem to be that meta relevant as of late. So I just couldn't really put him on the list because he's not used much. All the other champs I mentioned are a lot more useful, a lot more meta relevant in 2025 in the time of the contest that we're currently in. But yeah, man, honorable mention, honorable shout out to the GOAT Shang-Chi. Got 2 more honorable mentions. We got Chilth. I got another champ that I'm not really the biggest fan of, but she's very powerful. She does have Grit, which is a very powerful ability, allowing to hit into unstoppable opponents. This is what allows her to fight like Deathless Thanos, which is pretty cool. So yeah, honorable mention for Chilth, and then one more honorable mention for Black Cat, my favorite female Marvel character. She's very good, but I don't know. She's not always the most useful, but when she can cook, man, it's great. Alright, those are honorable mentions. Let's talk about number 1. The number 1 best skill champion in Marvel Contest of Champions. Tuma. Just kidding. Nick freaking Fury, dude. The moment Nick Fury was announced for the Heart of Fire event, dude, Kabam had my attention. And they already put one hand into my wallet. Like, the moment Nick Fury was announced, I'm like, dude. At the time when Nick Fury was announced, I only had 2 rank 4s. And those were Onslaught and Deathless Thanos. And I was really picky and choosy with my rank 4s when rank 4s were first becoming available. I only wanted to do the cream of the crop. I only wanted to do the absolute pinnacle of the contest. Onslaught and Deathless Thanos are the 2 greatest champs in the game, in my opinion. So they fit the bill perfectly for rank 4. Both of them are incredible attackers, defenders, any and everywhere in the game. They're perfect rank 4s. After I had both of those champions up at rank 4, I thought to myself, Legacy, who's next? Who's number 3? Who can even compare to these titans of Thanos and Onslaught? And I didn't know. I didn't know who I was going to rank 3 next. And then Nick Fury got announced. I'm like, oh, alright, it's Nick Fury. Absolutely. Nick Fury is in the same league as Onslaught and Deathless Thanos for me. I think the Onslaught and Deathless Thanos are both better than Nick Fury, because I just do. But Nick Fury's a great number 3, dude. Great number 3. He's my 3rd rank 4. He was the one and only champion I did not pull from the entirety of the Heart of Fire event. Thankfully, there was a selector, so that allowed me to pick him. And of course, I had Skill Awakening. I still have 2 Skill Awakening gems. I already gave Nick one of them, which was the best use possible ever for a Skill Awakening gem. Undisputable. There's no better champ to use it on than Nick, especially because he's not in any other pools. He's only in the Heart of Fire. So like, it was just perfect use of that skill gem. Sig level 1, Nick's good to go. But I still wanted to sig him up because, one, for prestige, but two, it's a great ability on defense. You know, it's just his second life dies slower, so it slows the fight down. And in Battlegrounds, you want that. And Nick Fury's second life is also when he becomes way more deadly, so to elongate that life as much as possible, it's totally worth it. Now, Nick Fury is very old. He's a very old champion, and he's never been buffed once. Never been touched a single time. He has just remained the god of the skill class. Like, I remember when Nick Fury came out, and the skill class was pretty bad back then. Just because this was after Black Widow had been nerfed, so like she used to be the god of the skill class because she just turned off every champ's ability accuracy. Is awesome. But after she got nerfed, the skill class really sucked, and it was down in the dumps. And then they released Nick Fury, and he was just the savior of the skill class, and he's been the #1 ever since. And you're the only champion that could even maybe challenge him for that title of the best skill champ is Kate Bishop. And that's because she is so busted. But even still, she does not exist as a 7-star. And even still, Nick Fury is such a good meta powerful defender. Kate does not have that on him. So I would still put Nick Fury as an overall well-rounded champ above any other skill champ in the game. And it's not disputable for me, bro. Nick Fury is him. This is so undisputable for me. He's so good. He's so ridiculously good on defense. And on top of all that, he's phenomenal on attack. He has so much utility. He can counter, not only evade, not only miss, but auto block as well. And again, he came out more than half a decade ago. And even still, he's countering evade, miss, and auto block, dude. Like, tell me another champ that can do that. That's over half a decade old. It's crazy. It's crazy that Nick Fury has that much utility baked into his kit. He can also shrug non-damaging debuffs, like anytime you knock the opponent down, boom, all the debuffs, non-damaging debuffs on him are gone. And if you have above a certain amount of tactical charges, just above 10, you can purify all debuffs, again, just by knocking the opponent down. It's great. It's so great. You know, in that second life with that Fury, he hits so ridiculously hard. It's fantastic. So, yeah, dude, Nick Fury, and of course the damage. We haven't talked about the damage, but if the opponent can be bled and you have deep wounds, just end the combo with a light, and you apply so much bleed damage. It's awesome. So yeah, dude, that is Nick Fury, the #1 best skill champion in the game, undisputable, not even close. Nick is him, bro. He is just him. Himothy. All right, let's talk about some 6-stars though. So Kate Bishop, we just talked about briefly. #2 best skill champ in the game for sure. Only behind Nick Fury. Like that's it. She's so broken. Her kit, man, is so overtuned. It's ridiculous. And I've been saying that since Kate came out, dude. I've been saying how unfair it is. Like, why does some chick with a bow do more cold damage on their special one than an Omega level mutant that's made out of ice? Like, make it make sense, Kabam. Like, Iceman should have what Kate does on her special one. The Omega level mutant. That's who deserves that kind of power. Not Kate with her little perfect release special one. Oh, 1,000,000 damage right there and don't do anything now. Like, it's just so broken, man. So broken. And the fact that, you know, we could have had her as a 7-star if we voted for her instead of Shang-Chi. If that happened, I feel like Kabam would have nerfed her. I feel like they would have had to. Because a 7-star Kate would have just walked through Necropolis like it was nothing. Yeah, man. Kate, I don't know if we're gonna see her as a 7-star now, dude. I think we fumbled the bag on that as a community. But yeah. Shout out Kate as a 6-star, #1 for sure. No one else comes close. I would say the next champ though, definitely Kingpin. Kingpin is great. And very powerful, you know, with all of his shrugging, the mid pin. He would be a pretty good 7-star, and there's a reason why Kabam hasn't released him as a 7-star yet. And then I think there's only like really 3 other skill champs that don't exist as 7 stars that really matter, and that's Valk, Aegon, and Zemo. So the way I'd rank these would be Kate number 1, Kingpin number 2, Valk number 3, Aegon number 4, and Zemo number 5 for the 6-star. Rarities. Yeah. Dude, you know what I would really love? Is a Punisher buff. Also, if they kind of made him look like John Bernthal a little bit, oh, that'd be amazing. Crazy Punisher buff, man. That'd be oh, that goes so hard. That'd be so sick, dude. Man, I would love that. I would love that. God. And let's not say that this Punisher doesn't even look good. This Punisher looks great too. Can't lie. All right, I'm getting distracted. All right, guys. Oh, also, speaking of skill buffs, buff this guy too. Buff Daredevil and Punisher together. Oh, this Daredevil looks so much better than the other one too, I think, in game. Man, we need a crazy Daredevil buff. Okay, I'm getting way sidetracked. Okay, guys, that is going to go ahead and wrap it up for the top 5 best skill champions in Marvel Contest of Champions. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree with my list. Go ahead and drop your own top 5 list in the comment section if you want. Let's compare. Let's see if we kind of had the same list, but maybe different order or anything. I'd love to hear you guys share. I love when you guys share your viewpoints, your opinions on this type of stuff. But again, let's just keep it respectful. Let's keep it nice. A good brainstorming space in the comments to have a good discussion and, you know, not have any hate or negativity, ideally. But yeah, guys, that is going to go ahead and wrap it up for this video. Drop a like if you drop, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content. Thank you so much for watching. All the support. You guys are the best. See you guys when I get back for more streams. Peace.